welcome to our 1 month on the road
It's our month review
with the happening empty nesters.
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, so we've now probably been away as long as we were in our prequel, and it's been every bit as bloody good.
It's actually better because we don't have to go home.
Yes, we don't have to go home, so that's she is right. It's way better because, yes, no home, no plans. We left Tamworth this morning. Weren't going to stop in a little town called Walcher, is that right?
Yeah.
Yep. Had some sculptures, so we're glad we did. And then while we were there, it mentioned Aspley Falls, and bang, we're sitting at Aspley Falls where we're going to spend the night. So it definitely wasn't planned, and it's awesome.
Katrina definitely didn't have it marked in Wikicamps.
Ah, yeah, well, look, she made a decision, which I'm absolutely happy for.
Look, it's our probably, and this is the number one thing in our thing, is it's been hard working out where to go.
That is right,
There's
yes.
too many places we want to see, and we're sort of zigzagging down the coast. So that's probably been the hardest thing so far, is working out where to go to next. And we actually had to really sit down at Tamworth and have a big discussion about where to go.
We were going three ways. Probably could have turned around and gone back a north way, but yes.
So yes, and so we decided to head down this way to Port Macquarie, and
which was our original plan, to be honest. We should have stuck with our original. Definitely not staying at our original places. I don't think we've actually planned to stay at any place, and we've actually stayed there. We get to something before, love it, stay there. Some places we've stayed longer.
And other places we looked at and we went, no, it looks pretty ordinary. Let's just keep on going. So, yeah, number one, we like winging it for camping spots, but
we do like a general
idea.
direction. Yeah. We're happy if we know we're going to go down this road. Where we stay, well, that's up to us, but we do like a general direction and a road that we're going to go down. So that's probably the hardest bit. Once we work on that, where we stay sort of takes care of itself.
And probably our hardest thing on the road so far, what's been your favourite thing?
Seeing all the sites, seeing sites we never actually even planned to see. So like I said today, Walcher, but there's been heaps of towns coming out of Springbrook. We saw Big Oz said to go there, so we went there. Then we come out into New South Wales, stayed a little town called Tyalgum, which was awesome.
Love Tyalgum.
We stayed there longer than we thought. Just sort of seeing places that we didn't really sort of plan to see. Probably a massive highlight for me was probably the Wollombombie Falls, that area, Oxley Wild Rivers. It's the expanse and the sheer size and the openness. It was just awe-inspiring. So that was probably my favourite. The food's been good. I'll give it to her. The food's been good, so I'm happy with the food.
Food's just food. It's pretty much the same as what we've had at home. Like, we haven't had to do anything different with food, really. Probably saying to Kane today, the thing I like about our van is our inverter. I like toast. I don't like bread. I like it having it as toast, and I can have toast whenever I want. So food, we've been able to cook pretty much exactly what we have at home. The only thing I haven't done yet is a slow cook, and you could do that in a camp oven. We just haven't stayed long enough to look at doing that yet. Really be flexible in your program. Like, don't have it set that you have to move on. If you find somewhere nice, stay. And we actually find we need those rest days. That's probably another little tip that we've found. Kane has lots of plans and wants to do things, but we found that we then need a rest day or two, because otherwise you're just buggered and you're going to be exhausted tripping around. Yeah. I think he's got ADHD on this trip. I really do. Like, at home, I'm struggling to get him off the couch. He just wanted to watch TV and YouTube, loved his YouTube. Now it's like we sit down for 5 minutes and he's like, okay, let's go. What are we doing next? I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, have a rest.
Don't get me wrong. At night time when we get into bed, I do still like to watch my Netflix and YouTube and where we are plugged into power, I don't mind jumping on for a sneaky bit of Battlefield 5, which is not very often because we're not really connected to power. Yeah. What about you, Trina? What's your highlight been?
Lots of highlights, but I think I'm a bit like you, that the hidden gems, like the things that we didn't really expect to see, we turned up and we just found. Probably a big tip is when you come into a town, I've been jumping on either Wikicamps, they're really good, but even on Google Maps, and just hitting the highlight things and seeing what's around. TripAdvisor for the bit bigger towns. I've been hopping on it and looking at like the top 20 things to do in that town. And it just gives you some things that you wouldn't know. Like they might be out in the back streets that you wouldn't have driven past, and you get to check it out. Like at Walter, I literally looked on there because Kane saw a really nice waterfall, said, is there anything? I went, no, there's
a fountain, a water fountain at a park. That's why we went back. It was actually a really nice sculpture fountain.
And I said, oh, well, let's have a look what's on here. I looked on Wikicamps and I went, oh, there's a sculpture of a whale. And I went, oh, let's go check it out. But when we stopped then at the park, we saw there were sculptures everywhere. So, you know, it was just have a look. Don't just drive through the towns. That's probably number one.
Yes. And cost-wise, how are we going? How are we travelling, budget-wise?
Budget-wise,
do we do a budget?
Yes. This is me. I love budgets.
She does love budgets.
I love to know where my money's going.
She always
and facts
has.
And figures.
Ever since we first met, she had a little handwritten book and used to write everything down to the...
Yep. So I am definitely a budget queen. It doesn't mean that we are super thrifty, but I like to know where the money's going. The first week I sort of wrote off because we're a bit all over the place. The week 2, 3 and 4, I reckon have been spot on. I'd budgeted about $1,000. We've spent about $1,000 each of those weeks, or one week was a bit higher, one week was a bit lower. This week is possibly going to be a little bit dearer because somebody had a birthday. And we probably did a few little extra things like...
As you do on your birthday. It's
going
birthday.
out
You
for
always
tea
spend a bit more on your birthday.
Maybe buying myself a pair of new Lorna Jane pants.
Oh, did you want to step up and show everybody your new Lorna Jane pants?
Check out my new pants. See my new pants. No need for long pants in Townsville. So yes, so little things like that. So this week I'm thinking that we're going to be a little bit over our budget. But then if we do things more like this and doing really cheap camping, then we might be just sitting on it. But like literally, I transfer money from one account to our spending money, and our spending money for fuel and food and extras is pretty much gone this week. So
don't get me wrong, the fuel economy...
Fuel's actually not cost as much.
It's actually been, the car, we had it, a little bit of a tune done on it. I did get an exhaust put on it. I've pumped up the tyres a bit harder than I normally would, purely because of the price of fuel and that. But my economy's down under 20 litres per 100. And even when I think we're pushing hard through the hills and that, you're pulling second gear pretty hard up some of these mountains, and I go, oh, geez, we're using some. And Trina still says, like, what was today?
20 litres per 100.
Yeah, 20 litres per 100. So that's, I haven't had that before. Normally we're around 22.
And a hard day, 25.
That's right. And you know, pushing the hills in the past is 25. So have to shout out to my mechanic in Townsville or whatever he's done. It's
Hemmons.
Been magic. Yeah,
But also we haven't been travelling the kilometres. So I budgeted $600 a week for fuel. And at this stage, we have literally been filling up once a week. Yeah. We have been doing maybe 500 kilometres a week, maybe 6. So because we're not going huge distances, we're not spending a huge amount of money that way.
Yeah, the other thing is the diesel heater's been awesome. It's a must-have down here.
Yes.
It's colder. North Queensland, we find the cold hits us, certainly when the sun starts to drift down. And we're using about a tank. I think they're a 10-litre tank.
Yep.
I don't quote me on the tank size, but I think 10, but we use about a tank a week.
Look, it's probably about 5 days, I think, really.
We do punch hard on the heat. I'm not going to lie, it's one thing that if someone said you could take less of, probably pillows.
But really we can't, because what do we use the pillows for
We push
now?
them down the side to try and block any sort of coolness. As I said, they keep us warm. I push them. I've got a sleeping pillow, another pillow that I could sort of sleep with that I push down the side, a little pillow, and then there's a bloody big pillow I haven't even pulled out yet.
But it's funny because down the sides of the van, because it folds out where our bed is, especially when we've got the kitchen open, we find the cool breeze comes up through the folds, and so the pillows all jammed down the sides actually keep it a little bit warmer.
Pillows, blankets and pillows keep you warm. See?
Pillows,
smart one.
Who put the pillows in?
Yeah, dumb one.
Smart.
Give a shout out to Callum and Meg too, because they spotted us. They're the first ones that spotted us. They did a great job. I drove straight past them,
They're the Outback Nomads?
So they're the Outback Nomads. They did a spotto, and we ended up sort of camping a night not far from them at the Man River, at the Kangai Bridge. It was.
Yep.
Reserve, or it's a private property, but it's a free camp. But it would have been our best free camp so far.
I could go back there right now and have a week there easily. Probably
we could really throw it out there and say best free camp ever, because it's just it's
got
grass,
everything.
it's fairly flat, it's got the water, beautiful water down the front, even though it's freezing cold. We tried to have a swim, but it was cold.
It's definitely, that would be, I think, both of our number one.
Yeah, we stayed there longer than we planned to.
And it's free, we have only, the dearest, the most expensive place we've stayed so far was Big Riggin. And that was...
No, it was Byron Bay. No power, $40 a night.
Yeah, Big Riggin was $39 a night for power. Byron Bay was $40.
Yeah.
So it was dear.
That was in the Glen Villa Resort.
But hey, Byron Bay is super hard to find accommodation, and we literally stayed there one night. And it was really nice caravan park. I'd definitely hit that up. But yeah, so like we've only stayed in a few caravan parks. Best caravan park so far? Browns Rocks Caravan Park down
just for price, and it was we were able to do day trips out from there, so we'd come back
$30, powered, water. Amenities were a bit older, but they all work. Okay, Kane, what's something that you would change or suggest people maybe not do or take a set up if you were starting out?
That's hard to say, because we're all different. Pillows. Look,
really?
I really don't think so far that we've taken anything that we haven't sort of used yet. There's a couple of things, like we haven't used the subs, but it's just been too cold.
Yeah, but it's not the weather for the subs.
That's right, it's been too cold, and we definitely will use them. We could have used them at that free camp at Kangai Bridge, but it's so cold.
You didn't want to fall in.
We didn't want to fall in, so really I haven't really got a thing that I wouldn't take again. What we have taken that I love is certainly the e-bikes. They're something that we've
e-bikes
used
have been awesome. Yeah,
just get me to places, like I said, that I didn't think I'd be able to get to. So the generator, it's been absolutely fantastic having it, because it just gives us that knowledge that if we stay somewhere and it's cloudy like it has been,
we had that for a little week or so.
We're able to fire up the generator to restore our batteries. Yeah. We do have van water actually lasts us
probably a week and a half nearly. We could get easy a week and a half, I reckon.
We found our gas bottle lasted
about 3
weeks.
It's because we keep forgetting to turn it off, though.
Because is there a bird?
There's a bird
climbing up a tree.
It's just climbing up the tree. Yes. I'm thinking, should I grab my camera? But it's gone around now, so I missed it. It's all good.
That's right, one of those strange birds. Otherwise, we'll give you a rundown on the vehicle and the mods and all that stuff we've done later. That's not part of this. This is just an update of how we're going.
If you want to know, let us know. If you want to know, more about what we've done to our van, what we've done with the car, what things that you should take, shouldn't take. Look,
or sort of what things we took. Yeah, we did take a fair bit. Well, we thought we're going to travel comfy. Due to health reasons, I thought, there's no sense in trying to travel around not feeling comfortable. I might as well feel the best I can. And believe me, I've been feeling really good. I think the less stress has been awesome. Mm-hmm. We've only had one little sort of
fight.
If you want, I had the meltdown because she just it wants too much.
Okay, we don't need to tell them about the fight, but we had a fight. It was really a communication issue, and then we said that's probably the one thing. He needs to listen, I need to listen, we need to listen to each other a bit more. That is something
probably a tip. Probably just to listen to each other a bit more, and when may just let the other person know what you sort of want to do. And
and I think that's probably the hardest bit. Sometimes you don't want to step on someone, I don't want to step on Kane's toes and go, no, I don't really want to go there, I want to go here. But then it's better to tell him that than just get cranky about it. So
yeah,
whether he listens to that or not is a different thing. But yes, but yeah, I hope you're enjoying our trip so far. We're enjoying sharing it with you. And yeah,
Yeah, I think
thanks for coming for the ride.
I think so. Follow us.
Yeah,
Like
subscribe.
us, yep,
We want to
and
get there.
ask us a lot of questions so we can sort of see. And if you think we should go somewhere, let us know and we'll do that too.
So like we're heading sort of down Canberra south, so
into Victoria, Tasmania.
Start giving us
South
Victoria,
Australia.
Tasmania, because by that time I might have actually caught up on my YouTube. So yeah, Victoria, Tasmania, hit us up with places to go. Catch you soon. Do I do the intro without you?
No, you don't do any intros. This is our month review.
Okay.
What? Oh, this is hard. I'll give you a tip. I have grand plans of getting up each morning early and possibly seeing a sunrise, cracking out a few hundred Ks to get to a place that we look at we think's nice. I haven't been able to do that yet. I don't think I've seen a sunrise unless I've needed to go to the toilet.
Oh, excuse me.
Goodness.
Just cut all that bit out.
Yes, that's cut. Please cut. Please cut. She's
Trina,
really
cut.
struggling now because she's trying to project a voice
No,
to you 1,000 kilometres away.
I'm cutting that shit out too. Anyway.
Probably all we've got to say for the moment. We could rattle on for a month of Sundays, but yeah, so...
Wind it up, Kane.
Yes,
Wind it up.
I've said that.